Try this again. What's that word, man? It's your boy 16 Shadow, man. Back with another live stream. Hopefully this time everything flow right. Let me see. Testing 1 2 1 2. All right, it look like it's flowing. Let me make sure though. All right, we valid. Yeah, shout out to everybody came to the first stream though, man. We had a couple technical difficulties. Couldn't really see what was going on. I see y'all now though. I see my boy Brooklyn Capo on bro Quan Beezy. How y'all coming? We're gonna wait till some more people get in here. I know it's already people that been going live doing breakdowns of this or whatever, but you know, they ain't me. I'm gonna give y'all my breakdown of it. We're gonna hit the facts. Shout out my boy Noble Page Patrick. If anyone y'all want to join the Discord, feel free to join the Discord. If there's anything y'all want to chop it up about, as long as it's regarding this case or this topic or anything, you know, similar to what y'all see in the title, what y'all see in the thumbnail, man. I don't want to go too far and too deep until a little more people come in here, though, you know. So in the meantime, we just gonna chop it up. You know, let me know how y'all day was going, what y'all been on, stuff like that. 'Cause you know how it be when people be coming in late. Hey, did you talk about it yet? Then they wonder how you repeat yourself all day. I don't really want to be doing that, you know. Shout out to who's that? King Nels. Salute 16. Salute chat. It's time we have that inevitable and dang inevitable convo. Bro, what's that convo? Let me know. What's that word? So who is the nigga book and how's this get back for DThang? When you say who book, are you saying who book like the killer or who book like Durk? Durk book my nigga. And one of the people on the hit. And I believe it's one that's supposed to be like still out or whatever. And the feds ain't got him. That's it's low key crazy when you think about it. They be getting any and everybody they be looking for. They ain't got the other dude. Shout out Pornstar J.I. see my moderators in here. It don't be weird to y'all. Sometimes I drop a video or drop a stream and it just shoot up and they do numbers that like I should be doing, and then sometimes I do it and it be so like this. Like it be weird, right? Like it seems like every time the channel had like a lit moment, something just throttle it or something. Oh, bro, it be really confusing. You say it's a nigga locked up for DThang murder, but they saying Stephen Matt was the one who did it, but he no. See, you getting it all mixed up. That's why that's what this live for, bro. Bro. Like hit me, you know, drop a like for me, gang. I'm gonna break it down. You definitely getting it mixed up. That ain't what they saying. Bro. I'm gonna explain it. Just really wanna wait till a little more people come here so I don't gotta explain it over and over and over. I'm live too,
Pictures
but
44.
let me cut him right out. Fuck. I can't hear you on definitely, but I'm live. You say you have faith Durk was gonna slip through the cracks on what he locked up for, but with these new charges, accusations, I don't know. Yeah, we really don't know yet though, bro. Like one thing about the murder for hire, from what I heard, you gotta have like, you know, proof that money was sent, and not just proof money was sent, but also somebody got, you know, say he told them to do it. Thing is, somebody probably already telling, or you know, I can't say telling because telling sound like he did it, but somebody already, you know, I'm pretty sure somebody talking, whether they telling the truth or not. I believe somebody talking, man. These niggas lies on the line. I'm pretty sure all these niggas not even this nigga homie for real. They got text messages. I mean, phone calls. I guess the feds was tapping niggas' phones. Niggas talking over the phone about the shit that they did, which is crazy. Niggas talking over the phone. It's like, damn, bro, like these people making this shit up. But yeah, man, when we get to like 60 people or something like that, I'm going I'm gonna really break it down for y'all. You say Butter knew something we ain't know. Did Butter really know something we ain't know? Did he? I don't know. What y'all think? You say that do be weird. Yeah, I don't be getting it, gang. People that been here from the beginning, y'all know, y'all know what really, but it just be weird. It'd be like, damn, like what's really going on phone? Like I need somebody to investigate that shit. I don't know who. I don't know like what that position would be called. The people that could do that, or the person that would be good at that. But like, I need somebody to really get tuned to get to the bottom of that. We need to fix that, man. We fix that. I do more streams for y'all, bro. Shout out my boy AP Louis. If they fix that, I do way more content, stream every day, drop every day. All that. Let me see. Post a link. Hey, if y'all can share this video too, man. Whether y'all share it on y'all Instagram or whatever, man. Oh, bro. YouTube, however y'all could do it. I'm finna share it myself. If you go share, let me know. I'll shout you out on photo. Oh, what a link button. All right, just did that. Did we get to 60? Yeah, hold on, let me check. Can't even see the views. I got all this other stuff. You say so DThang and Von Killer. What y'all talking about? All right, we almost at 60, man. Give me the 60. We're gonna start. We're gonna start the story. We're gonna start going through it. Shout out to all the people that did like, man, bro. I appreciate it. I can't force nobody hit the like button. They ain't gonna do it, they ain't gonna do it. Can't get mad at people that did do it though. Only could just appreciate the people that did do it. Oh, we at 63. I bet. Gonna get us started. Eight, four, up, up, up. What's the paperwork? All right, we finna start, y'all. Let me put this down. All right. So let's unpack these documents, man. I got three different documents. One on 9 pages, one on 42 pages, and one on 5 pages, and it's all regarding this case with Durk. So the first 9 pages that I'm gonna break down, let me see, it's basically like it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like what the government's saying, basically. You know, the government argument, DThang argument, and then the evidence that's presented. I'm gonna break down in that order. All right, so these first 9 pages right here that we're going over right now, this is basically the government and them. This is their argument. They basically going the key points on this. They gonna basically be telling you the charges Dirk got and the government argument. They gonna say he a danger to the community, a flight risk, and they gonna ask to reject the bail or whatever. They basically pushing to keep him in jail because they feel like if he get locked up, it's gonna be more violence. You know, intimidation, witness intimidation, stuff like that. But this is basically what it say. Plaintiff, United States of America, by and through its counsel of record, the United States Attorney for the Central District of California and Assistant United States Attorney Ian V. Lanelio, Gregory W. Staples, and Daniel H. Weiner hereby files its brief in support of pretrial detention for defendant Dirk Banks, based on the significant risk of flight, ongoing danger to the community and witness, and risk that the defendant will obstruct justice. So basically what I was just saying, you know, they basically saying he a flight risk, he dangerous, all that. This filing is based upon the attached memorandum of points and authorities, the attached Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 under seal, the files and records in this case, and such further evidence argument as the court may permit. December 12th, 2024. Respectfully submitted, E. Martin Estrada, United States Attorney. Mac E. Jenkins, Assistant United States Attorney, Chief Criminal Division. Ian Y. Yanello, Gregory W. Staples, and Daniel H. Weiner, Assistant United States Attorney. Attorneys for the plaintiff, United States of America. Okay. So these basically all the attorneys for the, you know, the feds. It's the intro to it. Say this murder case presents a straightforward detention analysis. No condition or combination of conditions can ensure defendant Banks' appearance or protect the community, including vital witnesses in this case, because defendant cannot rebut the presumption of detention merely by offering a small portion of his wealth in a bond package. He must be detained pending his murder trial, where he faces a mandatory life sentence. They basically saying a little piece of little money ain't gonna do it. Bro, you think you just gonna be outside just because you gave us a little 2 million, boy? You got way more than that. That ain't gonna do it, basically. So I don't know if they really just want some more money or they really just ain't gonna try to let them out regardless type shit. Like they probably don't care what type of bond he throw at them. I was seeing with Diddy how they did, but this is a different case from Diddy. Diddy is different. Like they probably just don't even they probably like really disgusted and dislike him and ain't really the judge probably just don't even want to give him a bond, you know? But like this situation, they basically trying to say like he dangerous, you know? Like him being outside is gonna be a issue. Flight risk, witness risk, all that. It says defendant has offered millions of dollars to secure pretrial release, claiming that his money and private security company hired and controlled by defendant will somehow ensure his compliance with the law and his bond conditions. And this feel like deja vu me reading this. I remember somebody called me as I was reading something like this. That's crazy. The proposed terms are woefully inadequate to protect the community and vital witnesses from harm and to mitigate the defendant's risk of flight. Indeed, within hours of law enforcement arresting his co-conspirators, defendant was booked on 3 international flights, including at least one destined to a non-extradition jurisdiction country. Damn, which one was not which one was not extraditable? Whatever. I ain't even finna be making a fool of myself. But which one of the countries was the ones that he couldn't be brought back from? Because I thought he could have been brought back for all the ones. The proposed bond package makes clear the defendant has access to vast resources, but his conduct in this case and others shows that he has and will use those resources to endanger the community, influence witnesses, and wield his power for violence. As the first superseding indictment alleges, defendant orchestrated and funded a brazen murder plot that turned a busy intersection in Los Angeles into an urban war zone. His co-conspirators fired multiple guns, including a machine gun, to target one of the defendant's rivals, and resulting in a murder in broad daylight at a gas station. Just as he offers money to secure his release here, defendant has offered his money to secure the death of his rival that afternoon in Los Angeles. Attempting to collect on defendant's promise of a monetary reward, the shooters opened fire on defendant's rival, killing the rival's family member, SR. Defendant showed no remorse following the murder and instead mocked his rivals and sought to commercialize SR death by rapping about his revenge. But even if the allegations in this case weren't enough to detain the defendant, they are. They are in parentheses. A separate federal case in Chicago also underscores why the defendant cannot be released pending this trial. As alleged in a recently unsealed search warrant affidavit in the North District of Illinois, defendant offered money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder, and more specifically offering to pay money for any gangster disciple that is killed. That shit bad. Y'all telling me he just said, I pay for any GD y'all kill? Come on, bro. Like, y'all not finna just be saying anything to us, bro, in these courtrooms. Like, I know how it be though. Like, they gotta make you sound as bad as possible, bro. But be fucking for real, gang. That nigga, I know that nigga ain't say I got money for every GD that y'all kill, bro. Every GD, not every GD from over here, or every GD, bro. Y'all really just said that the feds just said this shit in a federal case, gang. Every GD, where's that? Offering to pay money for any gangster disciple that is killed. Is evidence. It's an example 1 at 12. How y'all feel about that, man? Like, how do y'all feel about that, dude? I gotta see, like, am I tweaking, bro? Like, we just gonna ignore that? Now it made me question all the stuff y'all saying for real. Cause I know folks ain't say yeah every GD y'all catch. Get on that. You ain't saying nothing like that. Hey, shout out to people that just came in though, man. Run that, run that like up, that like button. Bro, we need at least 50 likes. We say the feds don't need your money. I don't know, man. We gotta keep reading, bro. They talking about evidence collected in this case also shows the defendant has allegedly placed monetary bounties to solicit other murders, including a family member of a witness. A family member of a witness. Family member of what witness? Under seal. Defendant's modus operandi is clear. He will use his power, his money, his influence, and any pretrial release to endanger anyone who he perceives as a threat, including witnesses in this case. Dang, I'm trying to think what family member what they be talking about. Maybe we gonna find out the deeper we go. Back out and hit the like button for the stream. Oh, you could do that? I don't think you could do that, can you? You could like the stream, then leave and come back and like it again. I don't think it works that way. Second argument. I mean, second part argument, I guess. A. Defendant is presumed to be a flight risk and danger. A defendant must be detained pending trial where no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the appearance of the person as required and the safety of any other person in the community. Detention is thus appropriate for a defendant who is either a danger to the community or a flight risk. The Bail Reform Act mandates an individualized evaluation guided by the factors articulated. Those factors are the nature and circumstances of the offense charged. That go back to the Diddy stuff I was talking about, like how crazy is the charges. If it's something like that, they ain't finna try to give you no bail. Murders sometime not, you know. The weight of the evidence against the defendant's character, physical and mental condition, family and community ties, past conduct, history relating to drug or alcohol abuse, and criminal history, and the nature and seriousness of the danger to any person or to the community that will be posed by the defendant's release. In cases involving certain violent offenses, including the firearms count set forth in count 3, the Bail Reform Act established a presumption that a defendant is both a flight risk and a danger to the community. Once the presumption is triggered, the defendant has the burden of producing or proffering evidence to rebut the presumption. Congress intended that the statutory presumptions will have a practical effect. The presumptions do not disappear when a defendant meets his or her burden of producing rebuttal evidence. The presumptions remain in the case as evidentiary findings, militating against release to be weighed along with other evidence relevant to the factors listed. B. Defendant's murder and firearm charges justify pretrial detention. Defendant's offenses are serious, brazen, and deadly. Defendant caused 6 hitmen to travel to Los Angeles to commit a machine gun murder in broad daylight. Defendant allegedly financed the murder plot and offered to reward the killers by paying a bounty for the murder of his rival. As discussed above, this bounty was not an isolated event. It was how defendant led his organization and conducted his business. Defendant used his power, influence, and vast resources to promote and perpetuate violence with deadly consequence. The fact that defendant is charged with orchestrating the murder plot, taken together with the strong evidence establishing his guilt, is alone sufficient to warrant his detention in this case. Affirming detention order, even though murder for hire defendant had never previously been charged with a violent crime, because the record contains compelling evidence of defendant's participation in the charged crimes and his knowledge and acquaintance and use of violences and and use of violence to commit them, which admits a clear and compelling finding that he posed a threat of future harm. Was clearly convincing evidence by his readiness to commit the charged murder for hire. As one would expect, given the nature of the charges, defendant faces a lengthy prison sentence, mandatory life imprisonment. The severity of the potential penalty underscores defendant risk of non-appearance and the threat of danger defendant poses to those persons involved in his prosecution. The lengthy jail sentence that could be imposed for the charged crimes provides an incentive to flee. Affirming denial of bail based on risk of non-appearance with defendants facing fraud charges that expose him to a range of 57 to 71 months. As noted above, even before defendant was charged in this case, he booked 3 international flights and attempted to leave the country on the same day that his co-conspirators were arrested. No amount of money or conditions of release will adequately protect the community or prevent the defendant from fleeing prosecution. Defendant presents a significant danger to the community. Defendant's release will pose a grave risk to the safety of the public and witnesses and potential witnesses in this case. Defendant has already shown he is willing to put his wealth behind pursuing violence, including allegedly offering a bounty to kill a family member of a witness. See example 2 under seal. Where the fuck is that? I need to find it. No condition or combination of conditions can ensure the safety of witnesses or others involved in the prosecution. If defendant were to be released, indeed, defendant could have committed every overt act in this case while on supervision, as he was operating in a clandestine fashion, largely through criminal intermediaries. At bottom, defendant proposal bail resources do not mitigate his danger to the community or sufficiently reduce his risk of flight. His funding and orchestration of the murder conspiracy shows that his proposed bail resources are woefully inadequate to mitigate the danger he poses. And although he proposes a surrender of his passport, location monitoring, and or curfew and intensive pretrial supervision, any such limitations will all suffer from the critical flaw in that they depend on defendant's good faith compliance in order to be effective. In particular, electronic monitoring does not prevent a defendant from committing crimes within a monitoring radius, and there is no reasonable way to assure that a defendant will not make impermissible stops or detours on his way to places permitted under the restrictions, or use social media to give instructions to intermediaries. Moreover, defendant has already shown that he cannot abide by even the simplest of conditions imposed upon him. While he's already been in custody at the MDC, despite clear instructions to not engage in three-way calls, defendant has repeatedly abused the phone system at MDC to engage. Man, they bringing up petty shit. Everybody do three-ways. They talking about this nigga shouldn't come home because he don't follow rules. The nigga came in, not do three-ways in jail. You breaking rules in jail. It'd be crazy. They gonna nitpick every single thing. Every single thing. Anything a motherfucker do, they gonna nitpick that shit. And that's gonna be like the profile they use against you, basically. You say Big GDK, if that's true, maybe wheelchair homie said that knows. I don't know what that means. Thanks everyone for hitting the like button on bro. Shout out Sister Teacher. In case you forgot, now is a good time for you to hit that like button. All right, shout out Sister Teacher, man. Defendant has repeatedly abused the phone system at MDC to engage in such conduct. His actions in an already restricted condition of confinement show that there is a potent risk that he cannot and will not abide by bond conditions on his own accord outside the purview of the USMS and BOP. For the foregoing reasons, the government respectfully requests that this court order defendant detained pending trial in this matter. So that's the government argument right there, basically. That was the 9 pages that the government had to argue as far as like why he shouldn't be released. Now these next pages right here, let me make sure I got it. Yeah, these pages right here, this is Durk lawyers. Durk no argument. So Drew Findlin, I think that's like the best lawyer, one of the best lawyers, and Marissa Goldberg. I know y'all heard of Goldberg before, just the last name in general when it comes to lawyers and shit. So this they argument right here. I don't know who these people are in Chicago and LA. Jonathan Bryan. Look like all lawyers to say law, all these all the attorneys for Durk. So he got Drew and Marissa. That's one group. We got Jonathan Breen and Pug. It's another law firm. And Christy O'Connor. So he got lawyers in Chicago and Atlanta and LA. That makes sense because that's where he be at. So do he got cases in Chicago? Chicago will be the shit that we just talked about. The DThang shit. LA will be the Quandarano shit. What happened in Atlanta? Y'all know what's going on in Atlanta? Or is it just because it's Drew? What y'all think? You said free that man, this BS? Yeah, I can't drop my Discord link no more. I don't know what's going on with my OBS. I mean not my OBS, my stream that so. Alright, we finna get to this part. My bad for the break. Really need some water though. So this was DThang trying to get a bond through his attorneys. Durk Bank through his attorneys Drew Fenderlin, Marissa Goldberg, Jonathan M. Brayman, and Christy O'Connor hereby files this memorandum in support of his request for pretrial release on conditions. Mr. Banks, a devoted husband, father, and son, as well as a internationally renowned musician and recording artist, should be granted pretrial release on reasonable conditions that include the following: a bond secured partially or in full by 2.3 million in equity and 2 homes in Georgia and $1 million in cash tendered by Sony Music. All right, so his label put $1 million up for him on photo. I feel like that's decent because sometimes labels only put a shit up for a nigga. Feel like I should have put up more though. Okay, I should have put up at least like 5, 10. They still was gonna say no though. Well, I ain't gonna say they was gonna say no, but the state was gonna be like, that ain't enough. I mean, the feds, this ain't in the state. Diddy tried to put up 50. You say Atlanta is the one where they claim he told on Vaughn after Vaughn died, but that case over with. You say he might get out just because Sony involved. Home detention with he basically trying to get house arrest on bro EM. Around the clock security services ensuring compliance with all conditions imposed by the court. He basically trying to do that young boy shit. He trying to get that young boy deal on phone on that boy. Just put me in a house and put security all around me, and y'all make sure I don't go nowhere. He trying to get that young boy. They not trying to hit. Reporting to pretrial services and additional third party sororities and guarantors to satisfy a bond amount that the court determines to be reasonable. That was submitted by Jonathan, one of the attorneys for Durk Banks. Memorandum in support of Durk Banks. Request. Let me see which one Jonathan is from. Jonathan is the one from Chicago. All right. So he the one that said that. Introduction. Durk Banks is a default. Wasn't this already said? Devoted father, husband, and son as well. About read that. Especially in the last decade of his life, he has demonstrated a genuine resolve to publicly advocate for improving underserved communities and stopping the violence in those communities. Due to the strength of his character, individual from Mr. Banks' professional and personal life has lined up to support him in this matter. Mr. Banks have been temporarily detained since his arrest on October 24th, 2024 and is scheduled for a detention hearing this afternoon at 2 p.m. Given Mr. Banks' history and characteristics, including a documented track record of full compliance with conditions of pretrial release on a previous case in Fulton County, Georgia, a few years ago, that his friends, family, and colleagues are willing to act as sureties and guarantors on any bond that the court sets. They say on any bond that the court sets. That he is offering unencumbered real property worth more than $2 million. That Sony Music will tender $1 million in cash in support of a bond. That Mr. Banks has a history of gainful employment and residence in the Central District of California. This court should grant him pretrial release on conditions. 2. Let me check my phone real quick. I ain't been checking it in a minute. Under the Bail Reform Act, the court must release Mr. Banks under the least restrictive condition or combination of conditions that will reasonably assure his appearance and safety of the community. In order to detain a defendant prior to trial, the government bears the burden of proof in showing that the defendant poses a flight risk or a danger to the community. Risk of flight must be proven by a preponderance of evidence. Alternatively, danger to the community must be proven by clear and convincing evidence. Because the indictment charges Mr. Banks with an offense for which a maximum term of imprisonment of 10 years or more is prescribed, there is a presumption of detention under. I don't want to read the. All right. The defendant bears only a burden of production at any detention hearing. The government alone bears the burden of persuasion. And to detain based on danger to the community, the standard must be met by clear and convincing evidence. In making this determination, the court considers the factors identified in Section 3142G, including the nature of the offense, the weight of the evidence, the defendant's history and characteristics, including family and community ties and employment, and the nature and seriousness of danger to any person in the community posed by defendant's release. The statutory factors favors release. Mr. Banks was born and raised in the Inglewood, Chicago neighborhood, but he has resided in the Central District of California for much of the past several years. He plans to live in Los Angeles if the court deems release appropriate. Mr. Banks' music and industry relationships brought him to Los Angeles a few years ago, after which he ultimately made the Los Angeles area his primary residence. While Mr. Banks' music career provided him with the opportunity to move his family out of Chicago, it also provided him the ability to grow into an international superstar regularly, traveling across the United States and around the world performing, recording music, and participating in public and community-based events, including through his nonprofit organization, Neighborhood Heroes, a 501c3 nonprofit organization Mr. Banks founded in 2020. For example, as Judge Kevin M. Farmer previously remarked, in granting Mr. Banks expansion of his conditions of release on his previous state court matter in the Fulton County, Georgia, Mr. Banks is an artist and performs at concerts throughout the United States and overseas to earn his incomes. Mr. Banks, on that prior case, proved to the court, the prosecution, and the community that he could comply with conditions of pretrial release and court orders. Due to his full compliance with the conditions of release, which originally included a GPS monitor, a curfew, and a prohibition on contact with witnesses, the court gradually expanded and eased the conditions of pretrial release up until the time that the state of Georgia announced their intention to decline to prosecute the matter and asked the court to dismiss the case against Mr. Banks. The best determiner of how an individual will act in the future is how they behaved in the past. And Mr. Banks has showed that he respects the orders of the court and has been an ideal candidate for pretrial release. Additionally, it is because his community of support has such exceptional faith in Mr. Banks that they are willing to stake so much on his bond. I don't feel like reading all that. Let me see. Basically saying they putting up $2.3 million. Mr. Banks' mother, LaShonda Ward, lives in one of the two homes with her family. She is willing to put her home on the line. So his mama putting her home on the line or willing to. Who argument sound better? They told me let Siri read it for you. I'm losing brain cells. So he high slugs. Who's this? Hey, where the moderators at, man? The mods ain't working. Y'all ain't on point for them. Hold on. I got it. Don't trip. I got it. I got you. And hit that like button. Who argument y'all feel like was stronger though when it comes to just what we read so far? It's still Mo. Now this is like basically what the feds got to say. What we was just looking at was like the state's attorney. I mean not state's attorney. I keep saying, well yeah, state's attorney, the U.S. state's attorney though, and Durk lawyers. But like this is the 42 pages. This is what the feds got to say. Like the FBI. I'm gonna give y'all like a little rundown of like what the page is about. So like the first 5 pages is basically like just the overview of the investigation. It's basically saying the FBI is investigating multiple people, including Anthony Montgomery and Preston Powell for their involvement in a murder for hire scheme and other federal offenses. The key allegation that they saying is they use interstate communication, which is phones, to coordinate a murder for plot hire, possession of firearms by convicted felons. It's crazy. So I don't know, like one of the things you need for something to be federal is like some interstate shit, like whether you're using an expressway or phone, like I think all that shit interstate, so they can make it federal. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that though, but I think that might be how it go. Like, which is crazy. I mean, you call a nigga, it could be federal, long as is it like you got to call a nigga from Chicago to LA or some shit like that. Like, what make it federal versus state? Because if that's the case, there's a lot of shit that could really be federal, but the feds just don't really care for it. But that's the first 5 pages. So the specific incident that's highlighted in the first 5 pages is basically like the murder of Stephen Mack. He was shot in a parking lot after leaving a youth peace center in Roseland. Then he's out there in the hundreds. Let me see. Trying to find something before I get to read everything. They got this off. So this is who they saying they paid. And they trying to say that song. How was about that? Hey, shout out Finland, man. You say they left the phone in the car on the CD effect. It's saying a matter of the search of briefly describe the Wow. So it wasn't no somebody told a nigga left a phone in a car and hold on. Information associated with the cellular telephone call number that is stored at premises controlled by AT&T. A federal law enforcement officer or attorney for the government will request a search warrant and state under blah 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 blah. The basis for the search, evidence of a crime. Using a facility of interstate commerce with intent that a murder for hire be committed, conspiracy, aiding and abetting, and felon in possession of a firearm. And a matter of certain information. I am a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I have been employed since approximately July 2010. I am currently assigned to the FBI Chicago Homicide Task Force. As part of my job responsibilities, I investigate criminal violations relating to violent crime and gang offenses. So he's just giving his background. I don't really care about your background, dude. Let me see. Yeah, evidence. Without it is support social warrant. Now they put the nigga eye on me. I know. I look that shit up right now. Let me see something. See what I could do with this IMEI number. Who phone this is? Got iPhone 13. Oh, you got the iPhone 13. The blue one. Oh no, that would say the color. But I just looked the nigga IMEI number up. You say he left it on a charger in a stolen Chrysler? That's crazy. Where you see that at? They got all type of photos. FBI. Basically, my bad. I'm reading this in my head, but I'm forgetting. Like I'm talking to y'all. Let me read this to y'all, gang. As set forth more fully below, the FBI is investigating allegations that Anthony Montgomery, also known as Anthony Montgomery Wilson or Montgomery, and Preston Powell used facilities of interstate. Read that already. I be hating how they be doing this. They be repeating the same thing. Specifically, the FBI is investigating allegations that Montgomery and Powell murdered Stephen Mack, on January 27, 2022, in violation of the law of the state of Illinois, as consideration for the receipt of something of pecuniary value. Mack was shot and killed by two assailants while leaving the Youth Peace Center of Roseland. That's crazy. The Youth Peace Center. Two assailants exited from a parked stolen car and began firing at Mack as Mack walked across the parking lot. As the two assailants were driving into the parking lot, Powell, subject phone 3, exchanged several calls with the user subject phone 4. Law enforcement believes that subject phone 4 is typically used by a co-conspirator, A, but for the reasons set forth below, may have been used by co-conspirator B. The two assailants abandoned the stolen car at the scene in a parking lot after having murdered Mack through law enforcement investigation summarized below. I believe that Powell and Montgomery were the two assailants. After the murder, Montgomery left his cell phone inside of the stolen vehicle that Montgomery and Powell used to commit the murder. Who left it? Why is y'all bringing y'all phones on heads? Bro, you need to communicate, gang. If you need to communicate, gang, use a walkie-talkie or something, bro, at least. Like, why is y'all using phones still, bro? Like, y'all really shouldn't be doing nothing. Shooting people, killing people, nothing. I ain't saying y'all did, but if y'all did, bro, why is y'all using phones, bro? Everybody keep using phones and leaving them. Even if you don't leave it, you shouldn't even have a phone on a hit, bro. I say you need to communicate, get a fucking walkie-talkie, gang, a cryptic walkie-talkie or some shit. On phone now. Or a phone that ain't in your, I wouldn't even say get a phone, bro. But you know how they be doing little track phone shits. I don't know if that shit's still sweet like that. We just pay cash and get a phone. But that shit ain't there sweet. When the feds on you, they gonna see you buy the phone on camera in the store. On phone, they gonna track that bitch right down and see who bought that bitch in the store and look at your ass and put that bitch on you. You say walkie-talkie is worse? Yeah. Walkie-talkie ain't in nobody's name though. You might have that shit on audio or whatever, and anybody could pick it up. But what's the chances they just finna be on your signal that you own? Hearing what you saying, don't say nothing crazy on that bitch. Don't say nothing incriminating, you know. But if you need to be communicating, like, all right, pull up. We finna, you know, something like, you know how to talk. Talk. Don't talk. You know, don't talk crazy, gang. But all I'm saying for a walkie-talkie, gang, I feel like you'll be better off. Let somebody buy one. You don't gotta go buy that bitch. Don't listen to me though. I don't know what technology they got here. Might send y'all ass off. It's a radio frequency. Yeah, I know they could accidentally hit something, but they not gonna know who. You see what I'm saying? Like a phone tied to who. Walkie talkie is like you don't really know who, folks. Yeah, you can hear it, but shit, where it's coming from? Who is this? What they talking about? How you know? Like, what can they really do? But I don't know. Like I say, don't be listening to me. Y'all go do some crazy shit walkie talkie, then y'all be in jail mad at me, folks. I told y'all don't shoot people in the first place. Don't vote up. I got Thai beef. I ain't gonna eat that bitch. I want that Thai beef right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. That bitch over sloppy. I'm not even finna eat that bitch on live. Alright, so what it say? Or two sounds after the murder, he left his phone. Yeah, he left the phone. Powell Montgomery. Powell called Montgomery 3 times on the phone from the phone 3 minutes after the shooting. As Powell and Montgomery had split up on foot in different directions, and Powell was likely unaware that Montgomery had left the phone inside of the car used to commit the murder. 30 minutes after Mack was murdered, Montgomery's girlfriend, the listed subscriber for Subject One phone, called AT&T to report the phone as stolen. Approximately 3 minutes before contacted AT&T to report Subject One phone is stolen, Montgomery girlfriend was contacted by Subject Phone 5. 5 days after Montgomery abandoned Subject Phone 1 and the stolen car, he obtained a new cell phone. Subject Phone 2, as set forth below, used Subject Phone 2 to communicate with Powell, using what I believe is coded language to discuss when Montgomery was going to receive payment for having murdered Mac in February 2022. Law enforcement seized Subject Phone 2 from Montgomery, incident to his arrest in an unrelated case. For the reasons set forth in further detail below, there is probable cause to believe that the location of Subject Phone 1, Subject Phone 3, and Subject Phone 4 at the time of the murder and the hours leading up to the murder will lead to evidence of the subject offenses, and that the location of Subject Phone 5 and the period of time after the murder will lead to the evidence of the subject offenses. The statements in this affidavit are based on my personal knowledge and on information I have received from other law enforcement personnel and from persons with knowledge regarding relevant facts. Because this affidavit is being submitted for the limited purpose of securing a search warrant, I have not included each and every fact known to me concerning the investigation. I have set forth facts that I believe are sufficient to establish probable cause to search the information described in Attachment A and seize the information identified in Attachment B for evidence of the subject offenses. So I'm confused. They say they don't got a warrant, so they can't do certain shit, but they know certain shit, and he don't want to say what he know until he get a warrant. So how you know this if you ain't search certain shit? I don't know if y'all get what I'm trying to say. It's like, was y'all doing illegal shit? Like, was y'all doing shit already without the warrant, and you don't want to show your hand? Like, how you what is that? Cause he's saying like it's shit I know. Like I know it for a fact. These are facts I know. Basically, like there's way more to it, but we limit it because of the search warrant. But if we get the warrant, they basically said if we get the warrant, we could prove it. We could prove that all this is linked and this is why this happened and this is the timeline. But if you got the so they got the phone and they didn't go through it because they don't got a warrant. So they just saying like, all right, we got this phone and we know this, but we need the phone to really prove it. Like, is that what's going on, or somebody telling, man? Let me see what's really going on. Facts supporting probable cause to search the information. What if somebody was telling, and they don't want to be looked at as a rat, but they be like, all right, let's just say I left the phone type of time. What if a nigga did that? I'm not putting that in nobody's name. Don't make it look like that's what I'm on. But this is just hypothetically thinking. You know, like, what if somebody can you do shit like that? Like, you think they'd do shit like that? Where it's like, you know what? We just need this motherfucker. We don't care if you be a rat, you don't be a rat. We just need this motherfucker. So, but nah, cause for a nigga to do that, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. We gonna see how this shit play out of court. Let me say somebody tell it. Shout out my boy Lou Rawls. It's a background on the Smashville Gangster Disciple and a Mike City Black Disciples. As part of its investigation into the general background and territories occupied by certain factions of the GDs and the BDs identified below. The FBI has spoken with Chicago Police Department, CPD. Look, they got the GDN, BDN, the CPD, all the gangs. CPD gang officers who are familiar with the Gangster Disciples and the BDs, multiple members of the Smashville GDs, and multiple FBI, I thought it said confidential hitman, confidential human sources with knowledge of gang activities on the south side of Chicago. I wonder who they confidential human sources are. Based on my training and experience and through conversations with CPD gang officers who are familiar with the GDs, I know that the GDs are commonly referred to as GDs and the BDs are referred to as BDs. According, according to the Smashville member 1, the Smashville GDs control territory in the vicinity of 83rd Street to 87th Street and Ashland and Avenue to Damon Avenue. Smashville GDs have been in a daily conflict with neighboring Killer Ward GDs and other neighboring gangs that operate and commit violence in the city of Chicago, including neighboring sets of the BDs. For example, a Chicago Ballistic Information Alert, BIA firearm report. BIA revealed that a firearm recovered from a known Smashville member, blank, match shell casings recovered from Mike City, Black Disciple Territory, 8606 South Morgan Street in Chicago on about December 24th, 2016. According to the FBI confidential human source, number 1, Mike City is a faction of the BDs that controls the territory and operates in the area of South 85th Street to 87th Street and from Carpenter Street to Sangamon Street on the south side of Chicago. Background on the victim. According to Smashville member 2, at the time of his death, Mac was the suspected leader of the Smashville GDs. According to the records and information obtained from the docket in the United States versus Stephon Mack, and around December 19th, Mack was sentenced to 24-month imprisonment, followed by a 3-year term of supervised release for being a felon and the possession of a firearm in violation of 18. In October 2020, Mack was remanded to federal custody in connection with an alleged supervised release violation. In December 2020, Mack was sentenced to 11 months imprisonment for the supervised release violation, followed by 1 year of supervised release. Mack was released from federal custody on September 3rd, 2021. According to records and information provided by YPC, Mack was enrolled as a YPC participant in the time of his death. YPC, located at 420 West 111th Street, Chicago, Illinois. According to his website, YPC is a non-for-profit organization offering youth-related workshops that mentor teens and teach youth skills necessary to avoid conflicts and violence. Background on Montgomery. Montgomery is a Mike City BD from the south side of Chicago. Montgomery, circled in red on the left below, has been pictured with Durk Banks circle on the right. So that's that picture we was looking at. This the one of the alleged hitman. All right, so this Preston. Why his face blurred out? Hmm. Let me not do that because I don't want to put nothing on nobody out, but why his face blurred out? What's going on? Hmm. That's a video though. We could just go look it up. For real, for real. Let me see. According to CPD reports, Powell has spent time living at blank Carpenter Street, which is located in Mike City BD territory. According to a CPD report, Powell was a victim of simple battery that occurred on the 27th. According to the CPD report, Powell's home address was blank. According to a different CPD report, Powell was a victim of a simple battery that occurred on September 7, 2011. Powell's home was blank. According to public records I have reviewed from law enforcement databases, Powell currently resides at blank East 104th Street apartment. Why they keep saying all that shit? Which is located on the south side and right in the middle of Risky Road street gang territory. According to CH1, Risky Road is located in the area. Damn, they mentioned the Risky Road in this bitch. Damn, folks. I know they like, what the fuck we got to do with this shit? Bro, they got Risky Road in the motherfucking fair indictment, man. Hey, I've been seeing y'all too, man. Funny, I've been doing y'all shit with this music shit, but y'all gotta slow down too, man. Y'all, all y'all shorties, y'all hot as hell, bro. All y'all. Now y'all ain't gonna listen to me, but I'm saying I ain't telling y'all, folk. Like it's not the right attention on photo. You don't want to be mentioning shit like this, folk. Like it then there be a reason niggas be mentioning people names and shit like this, folk. Trying to tell y'all, bro. Even though y'all might not have shit to do with shit to do with this. Again, you sound slow read, folks. I'm on this bitch high as hell. It's a lot to read, gang. You say this shit all props. And I'm really thinking about if I'm gonna be 100% honest, I'm really thinking about that Thai beef I got this whole time. Want to do this stream for y'all on phone number, but I'm really hungry, man. I really want that Thai beef. I ain't gonna lie. Risky Road has ties to other sets due to ranking members of each gang having historical relationships. Background on Durk. See how they giving a breakdown of Risky Road? Is a famous rapper from the south side of Chicago. We already know who Durk is, bro. Do we really gotta read who Durk is? But let me see what they gonna say. According to conversations with CPD officers who are familiar with the BDs and social media postings, published source research, and a review of Lil Durk's lyric, Lil Durk is a member of the Lamron faction of the BDs, according to CPD records. Lil Durk's brother Dante Banks, aka DThang, was shot and killed outside of a nightclub in Harvey, Illinois, June 2021. Blank has not blank, but the the source has reported Lil Durk was and still is offering money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder, and more specifically, offering to pay money for any GD that is killed. Man, y'all source telling y'all anything, gang. Who the fuck is that? Y'all making that shit up, bro. That's a creative player telling y'all that shit. Talking about, oh, we already went over that, but that shit false, folks. Any GD that's killed, folks, that's you don't got enough money to do no crazy shit like that. Has also indicated that DThang was killed by members of Dump Street, according to CHS1. Dump Street is a GD faction on the south side of Chicago, according to CH1. Dump Street member Individual A was a close associate of Mac, according to law enforcement records. Individual A is currently in pretrial custody for allegedly having committed a double murder that took place in a country club Hills. Hold on, who? Close associate of Mac. Let me reread that. According Dump Street member Individual A was a close associate of Mac, according to A. So he in jail for a double murder in the Hills. Got to YPC at 12:07. Based off footage at 2:22, while Mac was still inside of YPC, a 2014 black Chrysler with tinted windows. Carrying the shooters drove into YPC parking lot. The Chrysler was initially parked on the east side of the parking lot. At 2:25, the Chrysler moved to the west side of the parking lot, facing eastward. The shooters remained in the Chrysler for approximately 40 minutes, apparently waiting for Mac to leave. So this them sitting right here waiting for him to leave. Based on video surveillance provided by YPC, Mac exited YPC and began walking across the parking lot at 2:59. As he walked towards his car, two masked individuals emerged from the Chrysler, one from the driver's side door, shooter A, and the other from the front passenger side door, shooter B. They began shooting at Mac, who fled eastbound away from the shooters. Based on the video surveillance footage provided by YPC, as well as information provided by CPD concerning Mac autopsy and the recovery of evidence at around the crime scene, shooter A pursued Mac on foot and shot him to death with a Ruger AR-556 rifle. Damn. Based on ring camera footage obtained from a residence located on the 300 block of West 110th Place in Chicago, after killing Mac, I believe shooter A fled eastbound away from YPC. As he did so, the ring footage captured shooter A yelling something in the effect of Marley. Yo, come on, Marley. Damn, who's Marley? According to records and information provided by CPD, a Ruger AR-556 rifle bearing the serial number 856 was recovered in the backyard of a vacant residence located on the 300 block of West 111th Street, which is approximately zero point 0.1 miles east of the YPC. The FBI is awaiting an analysis from the Illinois State Police Laboratory to determine whether it was a rifle used to shoot and kill Mac. According to records and information obtained from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm and Explosives, the Ruger was purchased by individual B at a federal firearms license located in Atlanta on October 1st. Wait, you saying the nigga went on a hit with a gun in his name? Based on the video surveillance. What? Am I reading that right? Is they saying a nigga did a hit with a gun in their name? I don't even believe. I don't believe some of this shit, bro. I don't believe some of this shit. Y'all not finna tell me no nigga did no shit like that. Ain't no nigga did no hit in their name. And Durk ain't say he finna pay to kill all the GDs, bro. Y'all just saying y'all saying anything. Like some of this shit sound convincing. They be like, all right, that sound like that's possible. That sound like a motherfucker could have did that, might have did that. Bro, y'all not finna tell me no nigga just did no hit with a gun that he bought. That he really bought the right way. Like he bought at a federal firearms license in Atlanta in 2020. Be for real, bro. Y'all making shit up? Y'all said this shit though, so y'all gotta know so. Based on video surveillance footage provided by YPC, information provided by the Chicago Police Department, and information provided by Victim 1, shortly after the shooting commenced in YPC's parking lot, Victim 1, who was YPC's security guard, stepped outside into the parking lot and was shot in the left leg by shooter B. After Victim 1, shooter B fled westbound from YPC on foot. The shooters abandoned the Chrysler in the lot. They showing a nigga blowing over that bitch. The Nike Tech all black. As discussed in more detail below, I believe that Montgomery is shooter A. According to records and information provided by CPD, the Chrysler was reported stolen on or about January 20th, 2022. According to records and information provided with CPD during the search of the abandoned Chrysler after the shooting, law enforcement recovered subject phone 1 in the front seat area of the car. You told me you left his phone on the charge in the car. Man, that motherfucking car look filthy. On about February 4th, 2022, a CPD detective applied for a search warrant of the phone. On the same day, the Circuit Court of Cook County issued a search warrant for the phone. Based on my conversations with CPD personnel, CPD has executed the search warrant on subject phone 1, but has been unable to get into the phone. The FBI has since executed the search warrant on subject phone 1 and is attempting to get in the phone. According to records and information provided by Apple, the Apple account linked to IMEI number belongs to Montgomery with an associated telephone number, a primary email address of a secondary email address, and the associated residential address. On January 5th, the FBI received the Illinois State Police Division of Forensic Service lab report. According to the lab report, there's a DNA codus match between the biological material recovered from subject phone 1 and Montgomery. According to the records and information provided by CPD, in around 2021, Montgomery identified his home address as in connection with his registration as a gun offender. According to Montgomery, Illinois' driver's license, his address is, according to records provided by AT&T, as set forth in more detail on January 27 at 3 p.m. The user of subject phone 5 placed a call to individual C phone. 3 minutes later, why don't just say their names? 3 minutes later, at approximately 3:45, 44 minutes after Mac was murdered, individual C contacted AT&T using telephone number and reported that subject phone 1 had been stolen. Individual C is also the listed subscriber for, according to records, FBI conducted an analysis of the numbers. Damn, there were 250 calls between that number and that number from 2021 to January 27, 2022. Damn, that's a lot of calls. 250 calls from December 1st to January 27. Let me see. They ain't never called each other 250 times. In about 2 months. Law enforcement interview individual C. During the interview, individual C identified herself as Montgomery girlfriend. Individual C also verified that her telephone was this and had been her telephone number for years. Individual C related that AJ, a nickname for Montgomery, is a criminal and a felon. She told them that he a criminal and a felon. His girl said that. Individual C related that she knows that AJ has been convicted for a felony before for guns. Individual C related that she has never been present for any of his arrests. According to records and information provided by CPD, during the search of the abandoned Chrysler, the law enforcement recovered a receipt dated January 21st, 2022 from a Jimmy's Famous Burgers located on 50th and Cottage Grove, and a receipt January 21st from a Walgreens on 50th Cottage Grove. Video surveillance from the Jimmy's Famous Burgers reflect that a black female customer was inside the restaurant at 3:16. Okay. Video surveillance from the Walgreens reflects the same woman was inside the Walgreens at 3:23 that day. Okay. At approximately 3:32, the same woman exited Jimmy's and got in the front side door of the Chrysler. Oh. During her interview, individual C stated that she went to Jimmy's and Walgreens and identified herself as the woman in the video. And so then they tied a car to them. Individual C stated that individual X drove individual C to Walgreens and Jimmy's during the same interview. Individual C also stated that her mother's name was individual D. He done left the cell on camera. Timestamp receipts. Hold on, let me go grab something real quick. Walgreens Asset Protection was able to conclude that the unknown female used the Walgreens reward number of her mom's, individual D. A review of a Facebook page that I believe is an individual C's Facebook page shows a picture of individual C in Montgomery. Now, so they got on her ass just for being driving that car. She, where you get this car from? Who car this is? Why was the girl driving in a fucking steamer that y'all was gonna do a hit in? Going to Walgreens and shit. Bruh. Ain't no professional hitmans out here. He put a mama number in to get the discount. As discussed in more detail, I believe that Preston Powell is shooter B. According to records and information provided by CPD, a white plastic cup which had the words Rise and Ground written on it was recovered in the front seat area of the Chrysler. As depicted in the photo above, a plastic cup was in the cup holder closest to the front passenger seat of the Chrysler, where shooter B was located. According to records and information provided by Illinois State Police Lab, according to CHS, Powell uses the nickname JB Marley. Damn, they got him on camera saying Marley. And username Marley or Marley, which is the same name shooter A yelled out minutes after the murder of Mac, as depicted on ring camera footage. According to records that law enforcement reviewed from AT&T, subject phone 1 received 3 incoming calls from subject phone 3 on January 27th, based on a telephone analysis conducted by members of law enforcement and for reasons set forth below in paragraphs 48 and 50. I believe that subject phone 3 was used by Powell on the day of the shooting to call Montgomery on subject phone 1. These 3 incoming calls to subject phone 1 were made at 3:02 p.m., 3:03, and 3:06, which was just minutes after Max was killed. None of these calls were answered because subject phone 1 was left in a Chrysler. According to records that law enforcement reviewed from Sprint, T-Mobile, subject phone 3 is registered. Care about where they live at, man. Basically, the calls from Powell to Montgomery. A common call analysis performed by members of law enforcement. Call may receive from 3 to have the same common call contacts. Lil Durk released a new song titled Aha after Mac was murdered. On about February 22nd, 2022, Lil Durk released a song titled Aha. I believe that The lyrics to this song can reasonably be interpreted to be reference to Lil Durk having people killed. For example, one portion of Aha, Lil Durk rap, we be sliding through they blocks and they don't know we have. Buddy ass got shot and we ain't claiming what I could show his ass. Based on my training, experience, and knowledge of this investigation, I believe that these lyrics can reasonably be interpreted to be a reference to Mac's murder. After Mac was murdered, an unknown individual recorded YPC's surveillance video of the murder on what appears to have been a separate video recording device, possibly a cell phone, and distributed the video to others. Additionally, lyrics from the Aha song state, my brother DThang just got killed and I've been slow since, but we got back on their ass. I bet they know this. I believe that this lyric and the lyric reference in the paragraph above relate to Mac's murder for the reason stated further below in sections 2M and 2N, describing law enforcement reviews of jail calls and media posts. So you do whatever you want. You got your folks here. This shit get crazier and crazier the more you read. I ain't even planning on reading this whole shit, but I'm finna read this whole shit. It look like, 26 pages out of 42. More than halfway there. Montgomery and Powell may have exchanged text messages concerning payment for Mac's murder using subject phone 2. On about February 19th, 2022, Montgomery was arrested by the Illinois State Police after fleeing from a stolen vehicle. According to records I reviewed from the New York Lenox Police Department, Montgomery's cell phone was inventoried by the Illinois State Police. When Montgomery was arrested, the phone recovered from Montgomery was an Apple iPhone 12 Pro. AT&T records for subject phone 2 revealed that this device used on about March 3rd, a detective from New Lenox Police Department applied for a search warrant for subject phone 2 in the Circuit Court of Will County. On the same day, the Circuit Court of Will County issued a search warrant on subject phone 2. In case number, during the execution of this search warrant, subject phone 2, law enforcement discovers a series of text messages exchanged between the user of subject phone 2. Saved as the exchange a message. Oh wait, they text this. They text this. No, y'all text this after you know you left your phone on the scene. After you know you lost your phone on. If this can't be real, Robbie. I swear I be feeling like the feds be setting these niggas up, bro. I promise you, I be feel like the feds be. I hope the feds be setting. I mean, I ain't gonna say I hope they do, but like, y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I hope like that's the case. I don't want that to be the case, but I hope that's the case, bro. Cause ain't no way you text about this shit. You already lost your phone on the scene of the crime. Y'all already used a gun that you bought in your name, and you telling me they gon' man, is they framing this man, bro? What's going on, gang? No matter how far his tables got him, they're always out there. Like, ain't no way, folks. I be hoping like niggas just smarter than that. I'm gonna read these texts up, bro. So what day all this shit supposed to happen? This February 10th, 2022. When that shit happened though? Happened February. Wait. I happened January 27th. So it happened January 27th. And on February 10th, they boy, what's up with that money? What's up with OTF? He say nothing. What you mean? They not paying? We waiting. He come up here on the 17th. Stand on that while you with Dirk now. He on his ass. He said he come here at 17. He ain't text back. He getting that stand on. This all say from Power phone. Dude ain't texting back. A lot of shit. Pal, steady texting this nigga. This nigga text one. He say we waiting. He say stand on that. Did Dirk give you that money? 14 days after Mac was murdered. Bro, is Pal 12? Let me not, bro. I know niggas hate when I say that. I'm not saying you is, but like I would be thinking that though. I'd be looking like, for what? Like, why'd you text me about this shit for your ass tweaking? I know I'm tweaking. He was texting back and forth. He texting back and forth. He say, "What's up?" Nothing. I got to looking at this. I'm like, damn, all this shit from Pal. When a user asks a user, "What's up, OCF?" Now they really want to break that shit down. Nothing. What you mean they not paying? Now he have been paid by a subject too. We waiting. He comes. I don't need no breakdown with no text messages, man. I'm pretty sure y'all don't either. I reviewed the Facebook page for the user with public display name blank in February of 2022. Based on open source research, I know that Lil Durk was interviewed on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast in February 2022. On February 18th, the user of the Facebook page with display name blank made the following post claiming to have been in an interview with Lil Durk. The post appears to be made with the AHA video after the AHA video was shot. And in the post, the user of the Facebook page with display name blank wrote, among other things, OTF. Based on my review of the music video for AHA, the video appears to have been filmed in Chicago according to CHS. The Facebook page with display name blank belongs to blank. I'm a little as hell. Back there, my head on the ceiling. I'm employed. Do about law enforcement. Employee stated he was present at the YPC when Mac was murdered. He recalled two participants, but should have not been there. I really need to blow my nose. Trying to write notes on paper is crazy. All right, let me get back to it. My bad. I keep taking these breaks. They used to be at the YPC, but they kicked out 6 months because there's too high risk, meaning they be in that area. Employee one stated that co-conspirator A and B were brothers and were members of the Risky Road. Hold on, what? Brothers of that's why he missing Risky Road. Describe. Hold on. Who was co-conspirator A and B? Ah, they saying some people at the YPC. All right, I see what's going on. That wasn't supposed to be there. This not them niggas that did the hit. It's some brothers. So they saying Risky Road has some ties to this shit. Let me read this to make sure I'm reading this right. Well, former participants. Alright. For brothers, members of Risky Road described in paragraph 17 was operated in the area of 103rd and Corliss. Employee 1 recalled co-conspirator A leaving in an Uber prior to Mac being murdered, but that co-conspirator B was at YPC when Mac was murdered. According to employee 1, co-conspirator B left immediately after the shooting. Oh, let me see. Co-conspirator A leaving in an Uber prior to Mac being murdered, but B was there when he got murdered and left immediately after the shooting before law enforcement arrived. However, in a later interview, employee 1 identified co-conspirator B and CPD dash cam footage exiting YPC after law enforcement arrived. Huh? B dash cam exit YPC after they arrived at the scene. So the employee lied. Told law enforcement that employee 2 drove co-conspirator B and approximately 3 other YPC participants home at the shooting. Employee 1 stated law enforcement that she heard after Mac was murdered that there were anywhere between 50,000 to 500,000 men offered for someone to kill Mac. Employee 1 told law enforcement that YPC keeps daily sign-in sheets. The sign-in sheet from 27 revealed that co-conspirator A and B arrived at the YPC at 10:50 and that Steph and Mac arrived at 12:07. According to YPC records, the telephone numbers on file for uh, the telephone numbers on file for co-conspirator B was this. According to records from T-Mobile, there were approximately 7 phone calls and attempted phone calls between subject phone 3 and a number used by Powell and subject phone 4 of the day of the murder. Outcome call for subject phone 3 and subject phone 4 at this uh, 20 second, 8 second, 52 seconds, 48-second call. As stated above, the Chrysler carrier Montgomery and Powell arrived at YPC at 2:22, and Mac exited YPC and began walking across the parking lot at 2:59. According to records from T-Mobile, subject phone 4 is registered to individual F on Emerald. All right, so this I knew they was finna tie this shit in some type of way. They finna tie one of these niggas' phones to one of them niggas from Risky Road for. All right, let me see. Law enforcement. Who the fuck is individual F? The law enforcement interviewed individual F at her home located at blank Emerald on Chicago about February 17th. Individual F stated that she was co-conspirator A and co-conspirator B's mother. Individual F also stated that she picked up co-conspirator B from YPC on the day of the murder. After the murder, the subject of the user of subject phone 5 contacted individual C prior to individual C reporting subject phone 1 as stolen. According to records from AT&T on January 27th at 3:48 p.m., individual C received an incoming phone call from subject phone 5 that lasted until 3:43. Be so specific with this shit. The user of individual C phone then called 800. Law enforcement researched that this telephone determined that this is affiliated with AT&T. Who the fuck is individual G? 11 years old at the time of the murder. Individual age, little address. Doesn't have a little address. Members of law enforcement. Agent G determined the individual G was listed as the victim in a CPD missing persons report in 2017. According to the law enforcement database referred above in paragraphs 16 and 58 has also been leaked to Yale Avenue. Get to the social media post. I don't get what that part was. You say, do the niggas that's telling think they get no time or something? I don't know. They probably just feel like they just trying to get some, uh, come home eventually. I guess. Our view pub, our view publicly available post. Most of the pictures on his Facebook profile depict update his profile. Hold money and a Lil Durk song "Aha" playing in the background. The Facebook story was captured by law enforcement, and a picture of his post below. We be sliding through the blocks and they don't know we have. We made the above Facebook post to brag and take credit for the murder of Mac. I also believe, based on my training, they was on your ass from the day of they seen this story. Nah, this one the day of this is March. Montgomery's playing Lil Durk's music and holding a large amount of cash to brag about the fact he was paid by Lil Durk to kill Mac. Jail call review. Throughout his investigation, I've been monitoring jail calls of Montgomery and individual I was associated with Montgomery. Montgomery was currently in custody of Cook County. Been arrested after fleeing from a stolen vehicle. That man can't stay out on stolen cars, man. As described, is currently in Cook County Jail on unrelated charges. Damn, they got jail calls during a call made by individual one from Cook County Jail to an unknown individual. I stated to an unknown individual in summary that individual one heard Lil Durk said that's for DThang. Huh? Unknown individual in summary. The individual one heard Lil Durk said that's for DThang. Individual then said he woofing like Tay-Town. He woofing like Tay-Town, and if that's for DThang, then check in, bitch. This shit ain't free. Huh? Based on my experience listening to jail calls as they relate to violence, I believe individuals want, according to the Mac homicide. Individual one is saying if Mac was killed for DThang, then Lil Durk needs to pay up because it wasn't done for free. Wait, so Durk might not have nothing to do with this shit. That's how they talking on jail call. That's what it sound like to me. He getting that. He woofing like they has nothing to do with that. And if it's for him, nigga, check in. Like, yeah, they ain't had nothing to do with that. Doing a call. I want to state that they caught his dumb ass in the stove. Huh?